once said that it takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. Public relations defines, or is any public group that defines their role to the public eye in the means of their ideology, history, and how they want to be perceived to the public. In 2017, Pepsi used public relations for their Live For Now campaign with Kendall Jenner to promote peace and understanding. However, the ad received negative backlash. As a communication major with an emphasis in public relations, I want to dissect this campaign from a PR standpoint and inform you where they went wrong and how they repaired their brand. Public relations and especially media is such an entity in our everyday lives that it is significant to know the blueprint of public relations and the motivation behind it. So first, I'm going to talk to you about the history of public relations. Second, I will talk to you about the Pepsi ad, and third, I will talk to you about the aftermath of that ad. Public relations is any public group that is defining their role to the public eye, and what their ultimate message is. So Chipotle, they are food with integrity, meaning they value nutritional food. Or Nike, they are just do it, meaning they have an underlying theme of staying active. Sometimes public relations agencies use launch parties, they use campaigns, they use commercials, they'll use magazines to promote this ideology and what their ultimate theme is. But sometimes those themes can go very wrong, and it's miscommunicated to the public, and it misconstrues their ideology and puts a bad taste in the mouth to the public, which is what happened to Pepsi. So I talked to you about the history of PR, and now I'm going to talk to you about the Pepsi ad. So in 2017, Pepsi released their Live For Now campaign with the slogan, "Join the conversation," and the idea was that soda was the key to peace and understanding. Basically, Kendall Jenner, she hands the soda to a cop, and it's supposed to, cure all the bad stuff in the world. The ad went viral on Twitter, backlashed, and the New York Times in an article they said it was performative and minimized real protests such as the Black Lives Matter movement. In hindsight, this could have been seen as a very good kind of campaign because they used Kendall Jenner as like the spokesperson for the ad, so already they have the attention, and especially since in the 21st century when we're acknowledging more political activism, it could be seen as more virtuous to combine a soda with politics, but in this case, it did not happen. In this case, Nike did it right when they used Colin Kaepernick and Serena Williams for their Just Do It, because they extended Just Do It to political activism. Unfortunately, that is not what happened with Pepsi. So Maureen Taylor and Michael Kent, who are PR specialists, said that social media played a huge component in this downfall of Pepsi because since everyone has Twitter, it went viral and everyone was stating their opinion on it, and so it really drove them to the ground in how people felt about Pepsi. So Pepsi went wrong because they minimized a real issue and made light of it. So basically, people are actually fighting for the equal rights, and Kendall Jenner is not. So since people are, again, fighting for the equal rights, it is trivializing a serious matter and kind of just doesn't pay the respect to them. And so when Pepsi released that ad, it really minimized like a real problem. So I talked to you about the Pepsi ad, and now I'm going to talk to you about when scandals like this happen. So basically, when scandals like this happen, it calls for apologizing and admitting their mistakes. So after it happened, Pepsi took the video down and they released this statement. It says, "Pepsi was trying to project a global message of unity, peace, and understanding. Clearly, we missed the mark and we apologize. We did not intend to make light of any serious issue. We are removing the content and halting any further rollout. We apologize for putting Kendall Jenner in this position." So they released an apology statement, but a lot of the times in the media world, other events happen that steer the attention away from this event to another event. So that's what happened with Pepsi. A few days later, United Airlines got in trouble for dragging a man off of a plane, and so they went through the same kind of tactics. They released an apology video, and so. So in this case, Pepsi was off the hook for this, but even today, they are still steering away from politically driven ads to more lighthearted ideology. So So I talked to you about the history of PR, I talked to you about the Pepsi ad, and then I talked to you about the aftermath of what happens when things like this happen. Again, I want to remind you that public relations is the entity of media, and it is the motivation for all of the things in our lives, like social media, like film, like art. It really is the underlying for all forms of media. And I believe that it is important that we understand it, because in a world of media chaos where this is all happening, we should really know what the motivation for it is. Because after all, media is supposed to evoke, not enrage. Thank you.